just wrapped up a 20-mile run with a total time of 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 42 seconds, at an average pace of 8:32 minutes per mile. And came home to something that I need to show you. As you can see, it's fragile. So let's take it inside and I'll show you what I got. So inside this box is something that I've been thinking about getting for a while, not only for weddings, but really more just for YouTube. So, without further ado, here is what's inside this box. The Sigma 18-35 f1.8 art series. When I'm vlogging, I have to stick the camera pretty far out because the widest I can go is 24 millimeters. Basically, if you have a lower millimeter number, the wider the angle of view. And so I'm gonna slap this lens on there and I'll show you what the difference between 18 and 24 millimeters is. So now I'm on the Sigma 18-35 and I'm gonna switch back and forth between the two to give you a little bit of a comparison. Is this at 24? It's 24. You can see the mic now, whatever. 18 millimeters, 24. 18 millimeters, 24. I don't know if you noticed, but the microphone right up here has a dead cat on it. And when I zoomed out to full 24 millimeters, you could see the dead cat. Almost looks like the 18 millimeters is more punched in than the 24 millimeters. When I was testing it out, I kind of got the suspicion because it seemed like I had to hold it out way farther than I did my other lens, which didn't make any sense if it was a wider lens. The focal range of 18-35 translates to a field of view of 28.8 millimeters to 56 millimeter lens on a full frame sensor. Well, after that very disappointing news, there's only one way to go from here. I want to talk about goals. Specifically, I want to talk about last year's goals and where I was successful and where I failed. And I want to reflect on where I failed and see why that happened and improve on that this year. I listened to a podcast by How to Film Weddings, and the title of the podcast was The Power of 1,000 Days. So 1,000 days is a little under 3 years, if I did my math right. And around the middle of this next year, I will have reached 1,000 days of doing and making and creating and editing videos. And during that podcast, it was discussed that you'd be surprised what you can do within 1,000 days. So I want to relate that back to the goals that I have for 2022, specifically for my personal goals, my business, fitness, financial goals, and family and friends, and really importantly, my faith. My glasses off. Alright, you want to know how to pull? So most people go like this. No. you want to do is this. Cradle like a little baby. A ball-headed baby. Alright? Give it a little spin torque move here. Ready?
I hope that goes in the gutter. I hope to God that goes in the gutter.
Oh, you get the point. Do not try and vlog and bowl. That was a freaking fail. Alright, we're at 133 with the strike. We're gonna try to break 160. See how we go. See if we can get 3 strikes in a row.
The look of disappointment.
I gotta summon my eagle powers. Keep it going. I'm feeling this right now. Feeling this right now. Alright?
Hey, man, you got 161.
161?
161.
I did it. I beat it.
50. You know what I'll be doing in September?
A boy.
I have no rebuttal. I can't rebuttal that.
Currently at a local print shop called Carter's Copy Center to pick up some of the marketing materials that I had made for this bridal show coming up on Saturday, which is, it's Thursday now, Friday, Saturday, so it's like 1.5 days away. I tried to have this stuff made on Vistaprint, but the soonest they could get it shipped out to me was January 18th, and I need everything for Saturday, which is the 15th, so I need everything by the 14th, end of the day 14th. So I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but I picked up a few things in just being naturally curious and trying to learn how to develop a brand and design a logo and everything for just the beginning of my business to have something. I'm super excited for you to see the designs that I came up with, and I'm super excited to see what they translated to physically. So let's go check them out. Alrighty.
Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Look at that thing.
I do too. Yeah, trying to document the entire process.
Yeah?
Put it on YouTube, and hopefully it'll help somebody else that's trying to start a business or something.
Yeah.
Well, that's not high enough. So here it is. The 33.5 by 85-inch retractable banner. I also got a 2-foot by 6-foot banner that says, "Welcome to the Wedding Film Experience." We're going to have a TV on a small table just like that, playing a few of my wedding films or like a little reel that I'm going to put together either today or tomorrow. And beside those, we're going to have these cards that basically walk somebody through the beginning of a wedding film process and why they would want to go with me for their wedding films. Shoot. And then on the back, we have a QR code, ways to get in touch, a little thank you note from me, and then obviously follow on social, just like on the banner over there. So you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Vimeo, and YouTube. The colors I wanted to be something that reminded you of like an old letter. And the second thing I wanted to bring up is the typeface. So the typeface on the logo is something like you'd find in a book. On the little cards that I made, the first thing I say is, "Your love story is an adventure." And being that it's a story and that I'm a storyteller, I want something of that to show in the branding. So picking a font that looks like what you'd see in a book, along with the colors. Again, the color of this background is kind of like what you'd also see in a book. It's that like off-white kind of textured paper kind of look and feel. And then finally, the saying, wildly in love and young at heart. I really like the outdoors, and I was in Boy Scouts for 7 or 8 years of my life. I loved camping, loved summer camp, and kind of the colorway of this is from the Scout uniform, which is like a tan color, red, and like an olive green, and then gray or black and gold. So I took some of that and put it into here, and all of that kind of comes together to have a brand that shows that I like the outdoors. I like outdoor weddings. I want to tell stories of places that aren't just inside a building. And I eventually want to get to a place where I'm shooting like 10 to 12 weddings a year out west or in the mountains or just really cool places that are outdoors. Whether somebody is actually young or they're older, I want to work with couples that are just like down to earth, real people, have a story to tell, and are young at heart. They're playful, they're kind of down to do anything, and yeah, I guess that kind of describes the brand and the vision of the brand and the company. So there are the marketing and branding materials for the bridal show. Wedding films for the wildly in love and young at heart. Badge logo, QR code, social media. Same thing reflected here. And I think tomorrow I'm going to go through and kind of throw all that onto my website and social medias and stuff, just so that everything's consistent for when booking season really starts, which is now. Alright, we are currently wrapping up day number 1 of the bridal show. Been here since 11. It's now almost 8 o'clock. As you can see, I have my little sign thing there. Come on, camera, focus. And then I have set up here, the tower thing and the other tower thing here. And then the welcome to the wedding film experience thing back there. And of course, my hat, because that completes the look here. And we got the big ass TV right here showing my wedding films. And then we got these for people to scan and take and whatever. Probably got too many of them, but it's whatever. Save them for another bridal show or something. That is it. That's the end of day 1. I think I got like 3 inquiries, maybe, leads. I don't know. 2 inquiries definitely, but as far as leads, I'm not sure. Even if I don't get any tomorrow, I still have the list of brides that I'll get after the show. And so what I'll do is I'll just email all of those brides, and hopefully we'll get a couple more weddings out of that. So I just got home and saw that there were a couple packages on the table. Got this Tiffin Pro Mist filter from B&H. They replaced it because the other one was scratched. I forgot to cancel or skip my shipment or redo the dates for those, which kind of sucks because that's like another $80 out of my personal account, and the money is starting to get pretty low because I had to buy $250 worth of stuff for the marathon. All their stuff is going to start having this sweet new label with this, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like it's raised, like it's like a raised pattern with like a nice like soft matte feel, but looking pretty clean, yo. Looking pretty clean. All right, wrapping up day number 2 of the bridal show. Today actually seemed like it went a little bit faster. It seemed like there were more people that came through. but it's about 45 minutes till the end of the show, and it's pretty dead. So I'm gonna start packing up, and hopefully we can get home by 7 and get in a run, because I haven't ran in 3 days. So hopefully got a couple of leads today, but we won't find out for probably a week or two. And then again, like I said last night, we have that list that I can email brides and stuff from. So hopefully we get a couple bookings out of this. That'll pay for the entry fee for the show and the marketing stuff that I got. And maybe I'll look into other bridal shows in the area, like Cleveland or something, for later in the year, so that maybe I can put these marketing materials to use, because they weren't cheap. 2022 is pretty open, except for October. It's pretty much booked up. But yeah, looking for work, looking for weddings all of 2022. So. I want to end out this video by talking about goals. Inside these 2 black notebooks, I have my goals from 2021 and 2022. Let's start off with goals from 2021 and discuss where we failed, what we did well in, and what we need to improve on for this year. So I had 4 main goals in 2021. The first one was to improve my faith walk, and that's an ever constant thing. You always want to be improving your faith walk. And honestly, being transparent here, I feel like I kind of went in the opposite direction. So that's one thing I need to work on this year. The second goal was for my business. I wanted to shoot 10 weddings for my business last year in 2021. I ended up shooting 15 weddings. 6 of those were for my business, and 9 of those were for the other company that I've mentioned in a few videos on this channel. The third goal was pertaining to health and fitness. I wanted to stay injury-free, which I did for the most part. I wanted to increase my running ability, and I'm glad to say that I was able to do that, and I'm running a marathon in a week and a half, so that's pretty good. The fourth goal I had pertained to personal finance. I wanted to pay off all my student loans, and I wanted to pay myself from my business. I still have $4,000 plus a little bit of interest probably in student loans, and the reason I wasn't able to pay them off last year is last year in February I made the decision to put all of the money that I would have put towards student loans into my savings account so that I could live off of it in the event that my business wouldn't pick up more than I thought it would. And I'm glad I did that, because I was able to sustain myself all the way until now, which is January of 2022. And then the second part of that goal is that I wanted to be able to pay myself from my business in 2021. And in December, I was able to do that for the first time. So I'm super, super excited about that. But now let's talk about the goals I have for 2022. So in the goals for 2022, I have the same 4 categories: business, personal finance, faith, and fitness. So for my business, I have a few goals there. I want to make at least $50,000 in revenue. The way I'm going to do that is I'd like to shoot at least 12 weddings for my company, averaging $3,000 to $4,000 per wedding. And then I'd like to shoot 10 or so weddings for other companies. So in total, that'll bring me to around 20 weddings shot this year. Just wanted to interrupt really quick and say that I will be making a future video about the different revenue streams that I have right now and the ones that I'm going to be creating or making to get to that $50,000 this year, and then the goal of next year, $100,000 revenue. So back to the video. 2 more things kind of related to my business. I'd like to shoot a mini documentary or a documentary. And I'd also like to be more consistent on YouTube. Be that 1 video a week or 2 videos a week, I'd like to just be more consistent. For my personal goals, I have a few things. I want to become an early riser again. Ever since I stopped working my day job, I haven't had to I haven't had anyone tell me you have to be anywhere at a certain time. And that's kind of the downside of owning your own business. If I do that, then I can knock some things out of the way for my personal life, and then I can work on business stuff all business hours and be able to go to sleep at a good time and feel like I'm accomplished. Like I said, for my goals for 2021, I feel like I went in the opposite direction with my faith. So I'd really like to start committing more time to improving my walk with God. And that'll come with getting up earlier and doing personal things before I have to do anything for anybody else. Again, for personal finance, in 2022, I will pay off my student debt and be completely debt-free. And to wrap up the video, I want to talk about my fitness goals. This year, I'd like to try to run 4 marathons. The reason I want to run 4 marathons is that's 1 marathon per season of the year. I want to try to run 100 miles this year. Now, obviously, you build up to that. You run a marathon, then you train for a 50K, then you train for 50 miles, 100K, then 100 miles. And that's something that's intrigued me ever since I started running. And being the type of person that I am with an addictive personality, I feel like I need to do that. It intrigues me so much to know what running 100 miles feels like, what it does to your mind, what it does to your body, and I don't know, I want to do it. So that's something that I'm going to be training toward, and hopefully I'll be able to do it this year. If not this year, definitely next year. So with that all being said, I want to leave you with a quote that I heard a few weeks ago. It's better to be consistently good than occasionally great. So in 2022, I'm committing to consistency by showing up every day and being consistently good instead of occasionally great. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss anything more from my channel, subscribe if you want to. I'm not making you do anything. And that's it. See you in the next one. Probably in Austin, Texas. See ya.